Tonight, as you prepare to rest, remember, your imagination is not a fantasy, it is the creative force of your universe. What you impress upon your mind in the final quiet moments before sleep shapes what you experience when you wake. This is not about wishing, it's about becoming. The secret is not in the asking, but in assuming. You do not ask as one who doubts. You assume the end. You rest in the feeling of already having what you desire. Wishes are for dreamers, beautiful, fleeting, and often unfulfilled. But becoming, that's for builders. For those who understand that transformation begins not with hope, but with certainty. With action rooted in belief. The difference lies in how you approach your desires, not as something distant or uncertain, but as an inevitability, a truth you embody before it manifests. When you ask for change, there's often a whisper of doubt beneath the surface. I want this, but will I get it? What if I fail? These questions keep you tethered to lack, reinforcing the very thing you're trying to escape. But when you assume, when you step into the mindset of someone who already has what they seek, you shift the energy entirely. Doubt dissolves, replaced by conviction. Fear fades, replaced by faith. Suddenly, you're no longer waiting for life to catch up. You're living as though it already has. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect when it's not. It's about aligning yourself with a version of you that has achieved perfection, or at least progress. Close your eyes and imagine, what does success feel like? How does confidence move through your body? What thoughts run through your mind when you know you're unstoppable? Now live from that place. Carry that feeling into every decision, every interaction, every moment of your day. Let it guide you forward, shaping your actions and anchoring your intentions. Here's the profound truth. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your vibration, to the frequency you emit through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. When you operate from a place of assumption, you signal to the world and to yourself that what you desire is not only possible but inevitable. And once you believe it deeply enough, the steps to achieve it become clearer, simpler, more natural. Opportunities arise. Paths open. Resistance falls away. But make no mistake, assuming the end doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for miracles. It means taking inspired action that stems from trust rather than fear. If you assume financial abundance, you don't quit your job recklessly. Instead, you approach opportunities with boldness and creativity, knowing prosperity is yours to claim. If you assume emotional healing, you don't ignore pain. You face it head-on, secure in the knowledge that peace awaits on the other side. Assuming isn't passive, it's active alignment with the reality you're creating. So how do you start? Begin by resting in the feeling of already having what you desire. Feel gratitude for it now, even if it hasn't fully materialized. Speak as though it's true. Act as though it's inevitable. Surround yourself with reminders of the future you're stepping into, a vision board, affirmations, daily rituals that reinforce your new identity. Over time, this practice rewires your subconscious, pulling you toward the outcomes you've assumed as fact. And here's the most liberating part, you don't have to explain this process to anyone. Others may not understand why you carry yourself differently, why you radiate calm assurance, why doors seem to open effortlessly for you. They don't need to. What matters is that you know. Deep down, you feel the shift, the quiet power of becoming someone who assumes rather than asks. If this resonates with you, share it. Pass it along to someone stuck in the cycle of wishing, hoping, doubting. Remind them and yourself that the secret lies not in pleading for change, but in embodying it. Together, let's create lives defined not by longing, but by living. By believing so deeply in our dreams that we step into them long before they arrive. Because this is not about wishing, it's about becoming. And becoming starts the moment you decide to assume the end. As your body relaxes, let your mind rise. As your body relaxes, let your mind rise. Let it drift into the life you want, not as a hope, but as a memory. See it clearly. Hear what you'd hear. Feel what you'd feel. This is the real language of creation, emotion, not words. There's something extraordinary that happens when you allow yourself to sink deeply into stillness. The noise fades, the tension melts away, and in that quiet space, your mind becomes free to roam, to explore possibilities unbound by doubt or limitation. It's here, in this state of deep relaxation and heightened awareness, that true creation begins. But this isn't about daydreaming or idle fantasizing. This is about stepping fully into the reality you desire, not as something far off or uncertain, but as something already lived, already experienced. Close your eyes and imagine, what does your ideal life look like? Who are you within it? How do you carry yourself? What emotions fill your chest? Joy, peace, confidence, love? Now take it further. Don't just see it, immerse yourself in it. Hear the sounds around you, the laughter of loved ones, the rustle of leaves in the breeze, the hum of contentment beneath every moment. Smell the scents, the earthy aroma of rain, the sweetness of freshly baked bread, the crisp freshness of morning air. Touch the textures, the softness of fabric against your skin, the warmth of sunlight on your face, the solidity of ground beneath your feet. Most importantly, feel it all, the weightless joy, the steady calm, the electric excitement of living exactly as you were meant to. This is where the magic happens. Creation isn't fueled by words or plans alone, it's driven by emotion. Emotion is the language of the subconscious, the bridge between what you envision and what you bring into existence. When you feel your desired reality as though it's already yours, you align with its energy. You signal to the universe and to yourself that this outcome is not only possible but inevitable. And yet, this practice requires more than passive visualization. It demands presence and intention. As your body relaxes, stay awake to the details. Notice how each sensation anchors you deeper into the experience. Lean into the feelings, they evoke gratitude for what you've already achieved, awe at the beauty surrounding you, pride in the person you've become. These emotions act as magnets, drawing your imagined reality closer with every heartbeat. Here's the key: don't approach this exercise as a wishful escape from the present moment. Instead, treat it as a rehearsal, a deliberate practice of embodying the life you're building. Each time you return to this vision, you strengthen its neural pathways in your brain. You condition yourself to think, act, and feel like someone who has already arrived. Over time, these small shifts compound, creating ripples that extend into your daily choices, relationships, and opportunities. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's immersion. If doubts creep in, acknowledge them without judgment, then gently guide your focus back to the feelings of abundance, fulfillment, and ease. Trust that even fleeting moments of alignment can spark profound changes over time. When you emerge from this practice, carry its essence with you. Let the clarity and confidence you cultivated linger in your thoughts and actions. Speak as though your dreams are unfolding. Move as though obstacles no longer stand in your way. Live as though the future you've envisioned is already taking shape around you. Because in many ways it is. If this idea resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to step out of the realm of hoping and into the power of feeling. Together, let's remind one another that creation begins not with effort, but with emotion, with the vivid, visceral experience of the life we seek. Because when you let your mind rise while your body relaxes, you tap into the deepest truth of all. The life you desire isn't waiting for you, it's within you. And the more you feel it, the faster it will find its way to you. This isn't effort, it's surrender. This isn't effort, it's surrender. The power of your imagination is in its naturalness. When the state of having your desire feels like home, you're aligned. Let it feel normal. Let it feel inevitable. We live in a world that glorifies struggle, the idea that achieving anything meaningful requires relentless pushing, striving, and forcing. But true creation doesn't come from gritting your teeth or white-knuckling through life. It comes from letting go, from allowing yourself to sink into the effortless flow of what already exists within you. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting so deeply that effort becomes unnecessary. Picture a river. Water doesn't fight to reach the ocean, it simply flows toward it, guided by gravity and instinct. In the same way, when you surrender to the vision of your desires, you allow yourself to be carried forward by the current of alignment. There's no need to push or panic because you trust the process. You know where you're headed, and you let the universe handle the details. The magic happens when this imagined reality feels not like a distant dream, but like your present truth. When the life you envision stops feeling foreign and starts feeling familiar, like coming home after a long journey. This familiarity is the signal that you're in sync with your desires, that they've moved from someday to now, even if external circumstances haven't caught up yet. And here's the secret: the more naturally you inhabit this state, the faster it manifests. Why? Because resistance blocks flow, while ease accelerates it. When you force something, you create tension, a gap between where you are and where you want to be. But when you surrender, you close that gap. You step into the energy of someone who has already arrived, making it impossible for the universe to ignore your frequency. So how do you cultivate this sense of inevitability? Start by releasing the pressure to make things happen. Instead, focus on embodying the feelings associated with your desires. If financial freedom is your goal, ask yourself, how does abundance feel? Light, expansive, free. Then rest in those sensations as though they're already yours. If deeper connection is what you seek, imagine the warmth of unconditional love, not as something you hope for, but as something you currently experience. Feel it in your chest. Let it radiate outward. Make it real. Remember, your imagination isn't a tool for fabrication. It's a reflection of your inner world made manifest. Its power lies in its simplicity, its naturalness. You don't have to strain or overthink. Just let yourself drift into the emotions, sights, sounds, and textures of the life you crave. Trust that these feelings are enough. They carry the blueprint of your future self, and the universe responds to their authenticity. When doubt creeps in, and it will gently remind yourself that this isn't about effort. It's about surrender. You're not trying to convince anyone, least of all yourself. You're simply resting in the knowing that what you desire is already yours. That it's not a question of if, but when. And in that knowing, you dismantle fear and replace it with faith. If this resonates with you, share it. Pass along the reminder that we don't achieve greatness through sheer force, we align with it through gentle surrender. Encourage others to stop fighting for their dreams and start flowing toward them. Together, let's embrace the beauty of ease, the grace of trust, and the undeniable power of feeling at home in our desires. Because when you let it feel normal, when you let it feel inevitable, you unlock the door to everything you've been waiting for. And suddenly, the life you once dreamed of doesn't feel so far away, it feels like exactly where you belong. Before sleep, when your subconscious is most open. Before sleep, when your subconscious is most open, choose the scene that would naturally follow the fulfillment of your wish. Don't worry about how. That's not your job. Your job is to feel the result real. There's a unique power in the moments just before you drift off to sleep. The world quiets down, distractions fade away, and your conscious mind begins to loosen its grip, granting your subconscious unprecedented access to shape your reality. This is prime time for creation, the space where thoughts take root, emotions deepen, and intentions solidify into outcomes. Instead of letting this sacred window slip by unnoticed or cluttering it with worries, use it wisely. Picture the scene that follows the realization of your desire, not as something distant or hypothetical, but as an immediate continuation of your current existence. What happens next? Who are you in this new chapter? What actions do you take? How does life unfold around you? For example, if your wish is financial abundance, imagine waking up to a morning bathed in sunlight, feeling calm and secure. Visualize yourself effortlessly paying bills, investing in passions, or sharing generously with loved ones. Hear the sound of laughter during family dinners or the satisfying click of keys as you book a dream vacation. Feel the lightness in your chest, the absence of stress, the presence of peace. If deeper connection is what you seek, envision cozy evenings spent talking heart to heart with someone who truly sees you. Imagine holding hands without hesitation, laughing until your sides ache, or simply sitting together in comfortable silence. Notice the warmth radiating through your body, the ease in your breath, the knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be. The key here is detail, and not just visual detail, but emotional richness. Engage all your senses. Taste the coffee you sip while journaling about your goals. Smell the scent of fresh flowers on your dining table. Feel the texture of soft sheets as you rest after a fulfilling day. These specifics anchor your vision in reality, making it tangible enough for your subconscious to accept as truth. But, and this is crucial, don't concern yourself with the mechanics of how these desires will manifest. That's not your responsibility. Leave the how to the universe, to timing, to forces beyond your control. Trying to figure out every step only introduces doubt and resistance, pulling you out of alignment. Instead, focus solely on embodying the feeling of already having what you want. Feel it so deeply, so vividly, that your subconscious can't distinguish between imagination and experience. This practice isn't about effort, it's about immersion. You're not straining to make anything happen, you're simply planting seeds in fertile soil. As you relax into sleep, trust that your subconscious will continue working behind the scenes, weaving your visions into the fabric of your reality. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts. Opportunities may arise unexpectedly. Conversations may steer towards solutions. Actions that once felt daunting will suddenly seem natural and intuitive. None of this happens because you forced it. It happens because you aligned yourself with the energy of your desires. If this practice resonates with you, share it. Remind others that they don't need to carry the weight of figuring everything out. Encourage them to embrace the simplicity of feeling their way forward instead of thinking their way through. Together, let's honor the quiet power of nighttime surrender, a moment when our dreams become whispers to the universe and the universe listens. Because when you choose the scene that follows your wish and immerse yourself in its reality, you're no longer hoping for change. You're living it, and that's how magic begins. You are not begging a distant force. You are not begging a distant force. You are communing with the most powerful version of yourself, the one that knows no fear, no lack, no time. Speak to this self without words. Speak in sensation, in belief. Too often, we think of manifestation as pleading with some external power, a cosmic genie waiting to grant our wishes if we ask just right. But the truth is far more empowering. You are not dependent on anything outside of you. The answers, the strength, the clarity, they already exist within. What you're doing when you visualize, feel and surrender isn't asking for help. It's connecting with the part of yourself that has always known abundance, peace and possibility. This higher self isn't bound by doubt or limitation. It doesn't see obstacles, it sees pathways. It doesn't question whether something can happen. It assumes it already has. This version of you exists beyond fear, beyond lack, beyond the constraints of time and space. And here's the beautiful part. It's not separate from you. It is you, your truest essence, your purest potential. When you tap into this energy, you align with a frequency so powerful that resistance dissolves and creation flows effortlessly. But how do you communicate with this elevated version of yourself? Not through words, which are often tangled up in doubt or hesitation, but through sensation and belief. Words can be limiting, they rely on logic, structure and language, all of which filter reality through the lens of what feels possible. Sensation, however, transcends these barriers. It speaks directly to the subconscious, bypassing the analytical mind and diving straight into the depths where transformation begins. When you connect with your higher self, let go of verbal negotiation. Instead, immerse yourself in the feelings associated with your desires. If confidence is what you seek, embody it fully, not as a future goal, but as your current state. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and allow the sensation of unwavering certainty to fill every cell of your being. If love is your longing, open your heart wide and feel its warmth radiating outward, knowing you're both worthy and capable of receiving it. Whatever you desire, speak to your higher self in the universal language of emotion, trust, joy, gratitude, and watch as it responds. Here's the profound truth. Your higher self doesn't need convincing. It already believes in the life you want because it understands that such a life is not only possible but inevitable. Your job is simply to meet it halfway, to rise above fear, doubt and scarcity until you're vibrating at the same frequency. When you do, alignment happens naturally. The gap between where you are and where you want to be closes, not because you forced it, but because you became it. And remember, this communion isn't reserved for moments of meditation or visualization alone. Every day presents opportunities to live from the perspective of your highest self. When challenges arise, pause and ask, how would my fearless, limitless self handle this? Then step into that energy. Act from that place of knowing, even if it feels unfamiliar at first. Over time, those small acts of alignment will rewrite your internal script, making courage, confidence and clarity second nature. If this idea resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to stop looking outward for solutions and start turning inward for strength. Remind them and yourself that the answers they seek aren't floating somewhere in the ether. They're buried deep within, waiting to be uncovered. Together, let's embrace the power of speaking without words, of believing without conditions, of becoming who we were always meant to be. Because when you commune with your highest self, you realize there's nothing to beg for. Everything you could ever want is already yours, you just have to claim it. And the way you claim it isn't through effort, but through surrender, through trust, through sensation, through belief. Let the outer world fade. Let the outer world fade. The facts are old echoes. They're not your master. The outer only reflects what has been accepted within. So tonight, do not be fooled by appearances. Turn inward. The noise of the outer world is relentless news headlines screaming urgency, social media feeds flashing comparisons, obligations pulling at your attention from every direction. But here's the truth, none of it owns you. None of it defines you unless you let it. Those external circumstances, the bills, the deadlines, the opinions of others are merely reflections of past thoughts, beliefs and choices that have already come and gone. They're echoes of what was, not decrees of what must be. When you cling to these outdated narratives, you give them power over your present and future. You allow the weight of what is to overshadow the infinite potential of what could be. But when you step back and observe, you realize something profound. The outer world doesn't dictate your reality, it mirrors it. It shows you what you've subconsciously agreed to accept as true. If you're surrounded by lack, it's because somewhere inside, you've believed in limitation. If you feel stuck, it's because part of you has resigned to stagnation. But here's where freedom lies. You can change the mirror. By shifting what you accept within, you alter what appears without. And the first step toward this transformation is letting go of the illusion that the outer world holds any real authority over you. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, consciously release the grip of appearances. Silence the chatter about what's possible or impossible according to the rules of the physical realm. Instead, turn your focus inward to the quiet, unshakable truth that resides beneath the surface. This isn't about denial or escapism, it's about perspective. Recognize that the challenges you face aren't permanent fixtures, but temporary reflections of old agreements you no longer need to uphold. When you stop giving energy to those limiting beliefs, they begin to dissolve. In their place, new realities take shape, ones rooted in the expansive, boundless essence of who you truly are. So how do you begin? Start by creating space between yourself and the outer world. Dim the lights, silence your devices, and sit quietly with your breath. Allow the distractions to drift away until all that remains is the stillness within. From this place of calm detachment, ask yourself, what am I ready to release? What stories have I outgrown? Then gently set them aside, not with effort, but with ease. Like peeling off layers of clothing that no longer fit, let them fall away until you stand naked in your authenticity. In this sacred space, reconnect with the version of yourself that exists beyond limitation. Feel its presence, the steady rhythm of its heartbeat, the warmth of its light, the infinite wisdom it carries. This is the self that knows no fear, no lack, no time. This is the self that creates effortlessly, loves unconditionally, and lives fully. Spend a few moments simply being with this energy. Let it remind you that the outer world is not your master, it's merely a reflection, and reflections can always be changed. As you drift into sleep, carry this awareness with you. Trust that the seeds planted in this quiet communion will sprout while you rest, reshaping your subconscious and aligning you with new possibilities. Tomorrow, when the outer world reappears, greet it not as a ruler, but as a canvas, a blank slate waiting for your brushstrokes of intention and belief. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to turn inward, to remember that appearances are fleeting and facts are malleable. Together, let's reclaim our power from the illusions of the outer world and anchor ourselves in the unshakable truth of our inner sovereignty. Because when you let the outer world fade, even just for a moment, you create room for the magic of the inner world to rise. And in that rising, you discover that nothing, not even the loudest echo, can hold you back from becoming who you were always meant to be. Your mind, just before sleep, is soft, ready to receive new orders. Your mind, just before sleep, is soft, ready to receive new orders. It's a divine womb. What you plant there becomes form. So choose wisely, choose lovingly, choose the end. There's something profoundly sacred about the moments just before you drift off to sleep. The world outside dims, the chatter of daily life quiets, and your conscious mind begins to loosen its grip, creating an opening, a fertile space where seeds of intention can take root. This is no ordinary time, it's a threshold, a liminal state where the boundaries between thought and reality blur. Here, your mind becomes like clay, malleable and receptive, waiting for the impressions you choose to leave upon it. Think of this space as a divine womb, a place of infinite potential, where what you conceive has the power to grow into tangible existence. Whatever thoughts, feelings, or images you hold in these precious moments will shape the landscape of your subconscious, influencing not only your dreams, but also the unfolding of your waking life. If you fill this space with worry, doubt, or fear, those energies will ripple outward, shaping your experiences accordingly. But if you plant seeds of love, clarity and vision, if you choose to focus on the end result you desire, you set into motion forces that align with your highest good. This isn't metaphorical, it's physiological. During sleep, your brain consolidates memories, processes emotions, and integrates experiences, weaving them into the fabric of your identity and perception. By consciously choosing what to feed your mind before sleep, you guide this process. You direct your subconscious toward solutions rather than problems, possibilities rather than limitations. Over time, these small nightly choices compound, subtly reshaping how you see yourself and the world around you. So how do you harness this power? Begin by treating this time as sacred, an opportunity to program your inner operating system with the outcomes you wish to manifest. Release the habit of scrolling through distractions or replaying anxieties in your mind. Instead, gently guide your awareness to the vision of your desired reality. See it clearly, feel it deeply. Trust that what you plant here will germinate in the fertile soil of your subconscious and eventually bloom into form. And remember, the key is to choose wisely, not out of desperation or lack, but from a place of wholeness and faith. Picture the end result, not the struggle to get there, but the joy of already having arrived. Let that feeling saturate your being until it feels natural, inevitable. Then surrender it to the depths of your mind, knowing it will be nurtured while you rest. Choose lovingly too. Be kind to yourself as you engage in this practice. There's no need for perfection or pressure. Simply show up with compassion, allowing your heart to guide the way. Love yourself enough to imagine the best possible version of your life. Love yourself enough to believe it's within reach. And love yourself enough to release control, trusting that the universe or your higher self will carry forth what you've envisioned. Finally, choose the end. Not the means, not the how, but the ultimate outcome. Focus on the feeling of completion, of fulfillment, of alignment. When you immerse yourself in this sensation, you signal to your subconscious and to the greater forces at play that this reality is not only desirable but inevitable. From there, the path unfolds naturally, often in ways you couldn't have predicted or planned. If this idea resonates with you, share it. Remind others that their minds are not passive, they're creative engines capable of birthing new realities every single night. Encourage them to treat this pre-sleep window as a gift, a chance to shape their tomorrows by planting intentional seeds today. Together, let's honor the divine power of our minds and embrace the responsibility and privilege of choosing wisely, lovingly, and purposefully. Because when you understand that your mind before sleep is a divine womb, you realize the immense creative authority you hold. What you plant there doesn't just influence your dreams, it shapes your destiny. So tonight, as you prepare to rest, ask yourself, what will I choose to sow? What future will I call forth? The answer lies within you, and it begins now. If you want love, feel its warmth now. If you want love, feel its warmth now. If you want abundance, feel its freedom. If you want health, feel the ease of a body that works effortlessly. If you want peace, breathe it in now. The universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your energy, to the emotions you carry, the vibrations you emit, the feelings you embody. And here's the secret, you don't have to wait for these desires to manifest before you experience their essence. You can feel them now fully, deeply, as though they're already yours. Because when you do, you align yourself with the frequency of what you seek, making it impossible for it not to find you. Let's break this down. Love. If love is what you desire, close your eyes and imagine how it feels, not just romantic love, but the expansive kind that fills every corner of your being. Picture someone holding space for you without judgment or condition. Feel the warmth radiating through your chest, the lightness in your breath, the softness in your smile. Imagine extending that same unconditional love outward to others, to yourself, to the world. When you rest in this feeling, you become magnetic to love. It finds you because you've already opened the door. Abundance. Abundance isn't about numbers in a bank account. It's about the freedom and flow that come with knowing there's always enough. To tap into this, picture yourself living without worry or lack. Feel the spaciousness of having everything you need and more than enough to share. Notice how your shoulders relax, how your steps feel lighter, how opportunities seem to appear effortlessly. This sensation of freedom is the truth of abundance. By embodying it now, you signal to the universe that scarcity no longer has a home within you. Health. When it comes to health, many people focus on symptoms or limitations, but true vitality begins in the mind. Instead of dwelling on what feels broken, shift your attention to what feels whole. Imagine waking up each morning with boundless energy, moving through your day with ease, breathing deeply into a body that supports you fully. Feel the absence of pain, the presence of strength, the joy of movement. Your body listens to the signals you send it. When you inhabit the sensation of effortless health, you invite it to take root in your physical reality. Peace. Peace isn't something you chase, it's something you create from within. Take a slow, deep breath and let it fill your lungs completely. Now exhale, releasing tension, doubt, fear. With each inhale, imagine drawing in calm clarity. With each exhale, let go of anything that disrupts your serenity. Feel the steadiness of your heartbeat, the quiet hum of stillness around you. Peace isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's an internal state you can access anytime. By choosing to feel it now, you anchor yourself in its power, regardless of what storms may rage outside. Why feeling is creating. The reason this practice works lies in the nature of energy and vibration. The universe operates on resonance like attracts like. When you feel the warmth of love, the freedom of abundance, the ease of health, or the calm of peace, you emit those frequencies outward. They ripple through your thoughts, actions, and interactions, shaping your reality in ways both subtle and profound. But here's the catch: you must feel these states authentically. Going through the motions won't cut it. This isn't about pretending or forcing positivity. It's about genuinely stepping into the emotional truth of what you desire. Even if only for a few moments, allow yourself to be the person who already has what you're seeking. Trust that this act of embodiment is enough to set the wheels of creation in motion. A practice for every day. Make this a daily ritual. Before bed, during meditation, or even in moments of stillness throughout your day, pause and ask yourself, what do I want? Then feel it. Don't intellectualize it, immerse yourself in it. Let the sensations wash over you until they feel familiar, natural, inevitable. Over time, you'll notice shifts. Opportunities will arise. Challenges will soften. Life will begin to mirror back the feelings you've chosen to cultivate. And remember, this isn't selfish. When you choose to feel love, abundance, health, or peace, you radiate those energies outward, touching everyone around you. You become a beacon of possibility, reminding others that they too can claim what they desire, not someday, but right now. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to stop waiting for their dreams to arrive and start living as though they're already here. Together, let's remind one another that the power to shape our lives begins with a single feeling, a single choice to embrace the essence of what we seek. Because if you want love, feel its warmth now. If you want abundance, feel its freedom. If you want health, feel the ease of a body that works effortlessly. If you want peace, breathe it in now. And watch as the universe responds, bringing your inner world to life. Do not rehearse the wish, rehearse the result. Do not rehearse the wish, rehearse the result. Imagine what comes after the fulfillment, not how it came, but that it already has. Wishes are seeds, they hold potential, but they're not yet alive in the world. To bring them into being, you must stop focusing on the seed and instead envision the tree. The how is the soil, the water, the sunlight, all necessary, but not your concern. Your job is to imagine standing under the shade of that fully grown tree, feeling its presence as though it's always been there. This is where creation begins, not with longing, but with certainty. When you rehearse the wish, you remain stuck in lack. You're constantly reminding yourself that what you desire hasn't arrived yet. But when you rehearse the result, you step into abundance. You train your mind to see the finish line, not the starting block. You immerse yourself in the emotions, sensations, and details of having already received what you seek. For example, if financial freedom is your goal, don't dwell on the struggle of saving or the uncertainty of investments. Instead, picture yourself waking up each morning without money worries weighing you down. Feel the lightness in your chest, the ease of making decisions from a place of plenty, the joy of generosity without hesitation. Imagine the conversations you'll have, the places you'll go, the peace you'll feel. Live in this version of yourself now, not as a future hope, but as your present reality. The same applies to relationships, health, career, whatever you're working toward. Skip the story of how you got there and leap straight to the aftermath. What does life look like once your dream is realized? How do you carry yourself? What emotions fill your days? These details matter because they anchor your vision in tangibility, making it easier for your subconscious and the universe to align with your intention. If doubt comes, don't argue. Just return to your vision. Doubt is natural, it's the mind's way of testing your resolve. But arguing with doubt only gives it power. Instead, treat it like a cloud passing across the sky. Acknowledge its presence, then gently shift your focus back to the sun behind it. Here's how, when doubt whispers, "What if this doesn't work?" Don't engage. Don't try to prove it wrong or convince yourself otherwise. Simply return to your vision. Replay the scene of fulfillment in your mind. Feel the warmth of love, the freedom of abundance, the vitality of health, the calm of peace. Each time you redirect your attention, you strengthen the neural pathways associated with your desired outcome. Over time, doubt loses its grip because it no longer has room to grow. This practice isn't about denying fear, it's about starving it. Fear feeds on attention, on energy, on space in your thoughts. Starve it by refusing to entertain it. Feed faith instead, faith in yourself, in the process, in the infinite possibilities of the universe. Every moment you spend immersed in the feelings of your fulfilled desire is a moment that nourishes faith and weakens fear. Replace it. Feed faith. Starve fear. Your mind can only hold one thought at a time, so replace doubt with vision. Replace fear with faith. Replace questions with answers. This isn't about forcing positivity, it's about choosing where to direct your energy. Energy flows where attention goes. If you focus on lack, you amplify it. If you focus on fulfillment, you attract it. To make this practical, create rituals that reinforce your vision. Before sleep, spend 5 minutes revisiting the feelings of your desired result. In the morning, greet the day by embodying the person who has already achieved their dreams. Throughout the day, whenever doubt creeps in, pause and ask yourself, what would I feel if this were already true? Then let that feeling guide you forward. Consistency is key. Like watering a plant, small daily efforts compound over time. With each repetition, your vision becomes more vivid, more real, more inevitable. And here's the magic. As you feed faith, opportunities arise, synchronicities unfold, and paths appear that you couldn't have predicted. Why? Because you've aligned yourself with the energy of your desires, signaling to the universe and to your own subconscious that you're ready to receive. If this resonates with you, share it. Remind others that they don't have to fight for their dreams, they simply need to rehearse them. Encourage them to starve fear by feeding faith, to replace doubt with vision, to trust the process even when it feels unfamiliar. Together, let's embrace the power of rehearsal, not of wishing, but of becoming. Because when you rehearse the result, not the wish, you're no longer waiting for change. You're living it, and that's how transformation happens. Revise your day. See it as you wished it had gone. That's your new reality. Revise your day. See it as you wished it had gone. That's your new reality. Make your inner world the one that leads. Too often, we let the external dictate our experience, the missed opportunities, the awkward conversations, the moments that fell short of expectations. But here's the truth. Your inner world has the power to rewrite the script. What happened outside doesn't have to define what lives within. When you revise your day, when you reimagine it as you wished it had unfolded, you take back control. You shift from reacting to creating, from surviving to thriving. Close your eyes and recall the events of your day. Where did things feel incomplete? Where did frustration or disappointment creep in? Now rewrite those scenes. Picture yourself handling challenges with calm confidence. Imagine conversations flowing effortlessly, relationships deepening, goals moving closer. Feel the satisfaction of a day well lived, not because it was perfect, but because you chose to see it that way. This isn't denial, it's empowerment. By revising your day, you signal to your subconscious and to the universe that you're ready for a different outcome tomorrow. This practice isn't about ignoring reality, it's about reshaping it from the inside out. The outer world may not change overnight, but your perspective will. And when your perspective shifts, so does your energy. You begin attracting experiences that align with this revised version of yourself. Over time, what once felt like wishful thinking becomes your lived reality. Remember, you are not hoping, you are selecting. Let this sink in. You are not hoping for a better life, you are selecting it. Hope implies passivity, a reliance on chance or external forces to bring about change. Selection is active, it's deliberate. It's claiming ownership of the reality you desire and embodying it now. When you select a state of being, whether it's joy, confidence, abundance, or peace, you make it non-negotiable. You refuse to settle for anything less. The state you dwell in today is what tomorrow becomes. If you spend your days consumed by worry, lack, or frustration, those emotions shape your future. But if you consciously choose to carry the emotion of already having, already succeeding, already loving, already thriving, you lay the foundation for those desires to manifest. Feel it deeply. Let it settle into your bones. Don't just think about it, immerse yourself in it. If financial freedom is your goal, walk through your day as though money flows effortlessly to you. Notice how decisions feel lighter, opportunities seem clearer, gratitude feels natural. If deeper connection is what you seek, interact with others from a place of openness and trust, as though meaningful relationships are already yours. Whatever you desire, live as though it's inevitable. Because when you do, you erase the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Carry the emotion of already having. Emotions are magnetic, they draw circumstances that match their frequency. When you carry the emotion of already having what you desire, you broadcast that vibration to the world. Opportunities arise. People respond differently. Challenges soften. Life begins to mirror back the feelings you've chosen to cultivate. But this requires consistency. Carrying the emotion of already having isn't a one-time act. It's a daily practice. Start small. In moments of doubt or difficulty, pause and ask yourself, how would I feel if this situation were resolved? If my dream were already true? Then step into that feeling. Breathe it in. Anchor it in your body. Even if only for a few seconds, let it become real to you. Over time, these fleeting moments of alignment compound, shaping your thoughts, actions, and ultimately, your reality. To deepen this practice, create reminders throughout your day. Write affirmations that reflect your desired state. I am abundant. I am loved. I am at peace. Place them where you'll see them often, at your desk, on your mirror, in your wallet. Use them as anchors to pull you back to the emotion of already having whenever doubt tries to creep in. Let it settle in your bones. True transformation happens when you move beyond surface-level visualization and allow the essence of your desires to permeate every layer of your being. Feel the weight of abundance in your chest. Taste the sweetness of success on your tongue. Hear the sound of laughter ringing out in harmony with your dreams. Let these sensations settle into your bones until they become second nature. Until you no longer question whether your desires will come true, you simply know they will. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to stop waiting for their lives to improve and start revising them from the inside out. Remind them and yourself that hope is passive, but selection is powerful. Together, let's embrace the responsibility and privilege of choosing our realities, moment by moment, emotion by emotion. Because when you revise your day, when you select your state, when you carry the emotion of already having, you transform not just your tomorrows, but your todays. And in doing so, you step fully into the life you were always meant to lead. Feel the wish fulfilled not just once, but repeatedly, gently, deeply. Feel the wish fulfilled not just once, but repeatedly, gently, deeply. Let it rock you to sleep like a lullaby. You are not practicing imagination. You are living from it. Imagination is often misunderstood as something whimsical or fleeting, a tool for daydreaming or escaping reality. But when wielded with intention, imagination becomes far more powerful than that. It becomes your bridge to a new reality. When you feel the wish fulfilled over and over again, you're not simply visualizing, you're rewiring. You're teaching your mind, body, and spirit to inhabit the life you desire until it no longer feels distant, it feels inevitable. This isn't a one-time exercise. Repetition is key. Each time you return to the feeling of fulfillment, you deepen its roots within you. Like water carving paths through stone, these repeated sensations shape your inner landscape, creating grooves of certainty where doubt once lived. So let this practice become a rhythm, a gentle rocking motion that carries you into alignment with your desires. Feel them so consistently that they begin to feel natural, unforced, automatic. Let it be soft. There's no need to strain or force it. Instead, approach it with tenderness, as though you're nurturing a seedling into full bloom. Sink into the emotions associated with your fulfilled wish: joy, peace, confidence, love, as if they're already yours. Allow them to wash over you, soothing your nervous system and calming your mind. Let them cradle you like a lullaby, guiding you into restful sleep or quiet moments of reflection. This isn't effort, it's surrender. You're not trying to make anything happen, you're letting it happen by embodying it fully. Let it feel so familiar that anything else feels strange. The magic happens when what you desire starts to feel familiar, when the sensation of abundance, connection, health, or peace becomes so ingrained in your being that the absence of it feels jarring. Think about how strange it would feel to suddenly forget your own name. That's how foreign lack should feel compared to the richness of your vision. To get there, immerse yourself in the details. What does success look like? How does it smell? How does it sound? Engage all your senses until the picture is vivid and alive inside you. Then visit it often, not out of desperation, but out of devotion. With each immersion, reinforce the belief that this reality is not only possible but probable. Over time, the boundary between your current self and your future self begins to blur. The dream stops feeling like someday and starts feeling like now. And here's the profound shift. You're not practicing imagination anymore, you're living from it. Your thoughts, actions, and choices begin to stem from the assumption that what you desire has already manifested. You speak with authority because you believe. You act with confidence because you trust. Even the smallest decisions align with the version of yourself who has already arrived. Let it become your normal. What you focus on expands. If you spend your days consumed by lack, fear, or frustration, those states will expand until they dominate your experience. But if you commit to feeling fulfilled, if you allow yourself to dwell in the emotions of having already received, you create space for those feelings to take root and grow. They become your default setting, your baseline, your normal. When your desired reality feels ordinary instead of extraordinary, you've reached a tipping point. Abundance doesn't excite you because it's always been there. Love doesn't surprise you because it's your constant companion. Peace doesn't overwhelm you because it's simply part of who you are. This normalization is crucial because it signals to the universe and to yourself that you're ready. You're no longer chasing, you're embodying. When it feels like a memory more than a fantasy, you're there. Fantasies live in the realm of possibility. They're exciting, inspiring, but ultimately detached from the present moment. Memories, however, live in the realm of certainty. They're tangible, visceral, undeniable. When your dreams transition from fantasy to memory in your mind, you've crossed into creation. You've stepped beyond hoping and into knowing. Ask yourself, does my desire feel like something I'm waiting for or something I've already experienced? If it still feels like a distant dream, keep immersing yourself in its essence. Keep revisiting it until it shifts from anticipation to recognition, until it feels less like what if and more like of course. That's the state where manifestation accelerates, not because you're doing more, but because you're being more. That's the state. This is the ultimate goal, to live in a state of alignment with your desires, to carry the emotions of fulfillment as naturally as you breathe, to wake up each morning rooted in the truth of what you've already claimed. From this state, everything flows effortlessly. Opportunities arise without force. Challenges dissolve without struggle. Life unfolds in harmony with your intentions because you've become the vibrational match for them. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to stop seeing imagination as a tool for escape and start using it as a foundation for living. Remind them and yourself that repetition creates familiarity. Familiarity breeds certainty, and certainty transforms fantasy into reality. Together, let's embrace the power of feeling our wishes fulfilled, not as an occasional indulgence, but as a way of life. Because when you let it rock you to sleep like a lullaby, when you make it your normal, when it feels like a memory more than a fantasy, you're not just dreaming anymore, you're living. And that's the state where miracles happen. Feel the success, feel the healing, feel the love, not later, now. Feel the success, feel the healing, feel the love, not later, now. The moment you feel it real, it begins. The future isn't waiting for you, it's responding to you. Every dream you chase, every desire you hold is already within reach if you can align with its energy. And alignment starts not in action, but in emotion. It begins when you stop postponing fulfillment and instead immerse yourself fully in the sensations of having already arrived. When you feel success coursing through your veins, healing radiating from your cells, or love filling your chest right here, right now, you signal to the universe that you're ready. This isn't about pretending, it's about embodying. You don't fake gratitude, you cultivate it by stepping into the truth of what you seek. If financial abundance is your goal, feel the weightlessness of freedom today, not tomorrow. If deep connection is your longing, feel the warmth of unconditional love now, not someday. Whatever you yearn for, bring it into your present experience. Let it saturate your thoughts, your breath, your being. Because the moment you feel it real, the process begins. Creation flows toward vibration, not effort. Sleep not with longing, but with gratitude. When night falls, resist the temptation to carry longing into your dreams. Longing keeps you tethered to lack. It whispers, not yet, almost, someday. Instead, choose gratitude. Gratitude is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the language of fulfillment, the evidence that you've already received. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring challenges or denying desires unmet. It means acknowledging the seeds of your wishes as though they've already taken root. Before sleep, reflect on your day, not with regret for what didn't happen, but with appreciation for what has begun to unfold. Thank yourself for taking steps toward your goals, even if those steps were small. Thank the universe for conspiring in your favor, even if the results aren't visible yet. Thank your higher self for knowing that what you desire is inevitable. Why gratitude? Because gratitude shifts your focus from absence to presence, from what's missing to what's arriving. It flips the script on doubt and anchors you in trust. Each time you express gratitude, you reinforce the belief that your desires are not only possible but probable. You move from hoping to knowing, from wishing to claiming. Gratitude is the evidence that you've already received. Here's the profound truth. Gratitude is proof. Proof that you've stepped into the frequency of fulfillment. Proof that you're no longer waiting for life to change your living as though it already has. When you feel grateful for something before it manifests, you create an energetic signature that attracts it faster. Why? Because gratitude feels like receipt, like completion, like homecoming. Think about it. How would you feel if your wish had already come true? Overwhelmed with joy, deeply at peace, filled with awe. Tap into those feelings now. Let them ripple through you until they settle into certainty. Then thank yourself and the universe for delivering what you've already claimed. This act of giving thanks solidifies your alignment, turning fleeting moments of hope into enduring states of faith. That's your signal. That's your confirmation. Gratitude isn't just a practice, it's a signal, a confirmation. When you feel genuine gratitude for something you haven't yet seen, heard, or touched, you know you're aligned. You know you're broadcasting the right frequency. You know you're ready to receive. If you're unsure whether you're truly aligned, use gratitude as your litmus test. Can you authentically feel thankful for your desires as though they're already yours? If yes, you're there. If not, keep revisiting the emotions associated with fulfillment until they feel natural. Keep immersing yourself in the sensations of success, healing, or love until gratitude flows effortlessly. And remember, this isn't about perfection. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when fear tries to take the wheel. On those days, gently return to gratitude. Write down 3 things you're thankful for, even if they seem small. Speak aloud what you're grateful for, letting the words anchor you in truth. Allow gratitude to remind you that you're not empty-handed, you're overflowing with potential. Share this truth. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to trade longing for gratitude, scarcity for abundance, doubt for faith. Remind them and yourself that feeling your desires real is the first step toward making them so. Together, let's embrace the power of gratitude as both evidence and confirmation. Because when you sleep not with longing, but with gratitude, you awaken to a world that mirrors your inner state. You step into a reality shaped by the emotions you've chosen to embody. And in doing so, you discover that what you once sought was never far away, it was always within you, waiting to be felt, claimed, and lived. You don't ask by hoping, you ask by becoming. You don't ask by hoping, you ask by becoming. The universe is not deaf, it is responsive. It listens to the posture of your heart. Too often, we approach our desires as though they're distant gifts waiting to be handed over if we're lucky. We plead, we hope, we wait anxiously for signs that our prayers have been heard. But the truth is far more empowering. You don't ask for what you want by hoping it will come, you ask by embodying it now, by stepping fully into the version of yourself who already has it. The universe doesn't respond to words or wishes alone, it responds to energy, to vibration, to the emotional frequency you emit through your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. And nothing broadcasts a stronger signal than the posture of your heart. Are you standing in faith, confident that what you seek is already yours? Or are you kneeling in doubt, begging for scraps of possibility? Your stance, your inner alignment determines how quickly and clearly the universe responds. When you shift from hoping to becoming, you claim authority over your reality. You stop seeing yourself as a passive recipient of fate and start recognizing your role as an active creator. Every thought you think, every feeling you nurture, every choice you make contributes to the energetic blueprint of your life. When that blueprint reflects certainty, abundance, love, and peace, the universe has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Rest tonight in the certainty of your unseen world. As you prepare to sleep tonight, let go of the need to see immediate results. Trust that the unseen world, the realm of energy, intention, and creation, is always at work, even when your physical senses can't perceive it. This invisible force operates with precision and care, responding to the signals you send out through your emotions and beliefs. Rest in the knowing that what you've planted in your inner world is taking root. Like seeds beneath the soil, your intentions may not yet be visible, but they are growing. They are expanding. They are preparing to break through into the light of manifestation. All you need to do is trust the process and continue nurturing the soil with feelings of gratitude, faith, and certainty. This isn't about blind optimism, it's about grounded confidence. Confidence in the power of your inner world to shape your outer reality. Confidence in the responsiveness of the universe to align with your highest good. Confidence in your ability to hold space for what you desire without wavering. Know that it is working. Doubt thrives on impatience. It whispers, where are the results? Why hasn't anything changed? But creation doesn't operate on human timelines. What seems delayed may simply be unfolding in perfect timing, aligning people, circumstances, and opportunities so that everything fits together seamlessly. Instead of questioning whether it's working, focus on knowing that it is. Feel the momentum building beneath the surface. Trust that every act of alignment, every moment you spend embodying success, healing, or love brings you closer to your desired outcome. Even if you can't see it yet, know that the unseen forces are conspiring in your favor. To deepen this trust, create a nightly ritual of affirmation. Before sleep, repeat to yourself, "It is working. My inner world is the cause. The outer world is the echo." Let these words seep into your subconscious, reinforcing the understanding that your efforts aren't wasted, they're foundational. Your inner world is the cause. The outer is the echo. Here's the profound truth. Everything begins within. Your external reality is merely a reflection of your internal state. If your inner world is cluttered with fear, lack, or frustration, your outer world will mirror those energies. But if your inner world radiates clarity, abundance, and joy, your outer world will follow suit. This principle gives you immense power because it places responsibility squarely in your hands. You don't need to manipulate or control the outside world to achieve what you desire. Instead, focus on cultivating a rich, vibrant inner landscape. Fill it with the emotions, sensations, and beliefs that align with your dreams. As you do, the echoes of your inner work will ripple outward, reshaping your experiences in ways both subtle and profound. So make your inner world full not someday, but today. Immerse yourself in the feelings of fulfillment, confidence, and peace. Surround yourself with thoughts that uplift, images that inspire, and practices that ground you in certainty. Treat your mind like sacred soil, planting only seeds that will grow into beauty and abundance. Share this truth. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to stop asking through hoping and start asking through becoming. Remind them and yourself that the universe is not deaf, it is responsive. It listens not to the volume of your pleas, but to the authenticity of your heart. Together, let's embrace the power of restful certainty, trusting that the unseen world is always working on our behalf. Because when you rest tonight in the certainty of your unseen world, when you know that it is working, when you commit to making your inner world full, you unlock the door to infinite possibilities. And in doing so, you step fully into the life you were always meant to lead. What you feel tonight will bloom. What you feel tonight will bloom. What you assume tonight will grow. What you believe tonight will return to you, shaped as experience. The seeds of tomorrow are planted in the soil of today, specifically in the quiet moments before sleep when your subconscious mind is most open and receptive. This is the time when your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs take root, shaping the reality you'll step into upon waking. It's not about effort or struggle, it's about alignment. about tending to the inner garden of your mind with care, ensuring that only the purest, most vibrant seeds are sown. When you feel gratitude for what you desire as though it's already yours, that feeling blossoms into tangible experiences. When you assume the posture of someone who has already received, that assumption grows into opportunities and synchronicities. And when you believe without wavering in abundance, in love, in healing, that belief returns to you, reflected back through the circumstances of your life. This isn't magic, it's resonance. The universe responds to the frequencies you emit. If fear, doubt, or lack dominate your energy, they shape your world accordingly. But if you consciously choose feelings of fulfillment, assumption of success, and unwavering belief, you invite a different kind of harvest, one filled with beauty, possibility, and alignment. Let this be your ritual. Transform this understanding into practice. Make it a ritual, a sacred commitment to yourself each night. Set aside this hour not as an obligation, but as an act of self-love and creation. Use it to immerse yourself in the emotions, sensations, and truths that reflect your highest desires. Let go of distractions, noise, and the weight of the day. Instead, sink deeply into stillness, vision, and truth. Here's how. Begin by quieting your mind. Release the chatter, the worries, the endless to-do lists. Breathe slowly, allowing your body to relax and your spirit to rise. Then, turn your attention inward. Imagine the life you seek not as something distant or hypothetical, but as something alive within you now. Feel its texture, hear its sounds, taste its sweetness. Allow every cell of your being to vibrate with the certainty of its arrival. If gratitude comes easily, let it flow freely. If doubt arises, gently redirect your focus to the feelings of fulfillment. There's no need to force anything, just allow yourself to dwell in the truth of what you wish to create. Over time, this ritual becomes second nature. It transforms from a practice into a way of being, from effort into ease. Not effort, not noise, just stillness, vision, and truth. Creation doesn't demand strain or complexity. In fact, the simpler and quieter your approach, the more powerful it becomes. Noise clouds clarity, effort creates resistance. But stillness opens the door to infinite potential. In stillness, you access your deepest vision, the one unfiltered by fear or limitation. You connect with a part of yourself that knows no boundaries, no scarcity, no time. This is where truth resides, in the knowing that what you desire is not only possible but inevitable, that it's already yours, simply waiting to be claimed. Vision alone isn't enough though. It must be paired with truth, the unshakable belief that what you envision is real, that it exists beyond the constraints of physical reality, awaiting the perfect moment to manifest. When you combine stillness, vision, and truth, you create a trinity of power, a formula for transformation. You are not separate from what you want. You are not separate from what you want. It is already in you, waiting to be claimed. You do that by becoming the version of yourself who already has it. The distance between you and your desires is an illusion. What you seek isn't out there, dangling just beyond reach. It's within you, woven into the fabric of your being, waiting for you to align with its truth. The gap closes when you stop seeing yourself as someone striving towards something, and instead step fully into the identity of someone who has already arrived. This isn't about pretending or forcing positivity, it's about embodying authenticity. When you feel success, love, abundance, or peace as though they're already yours, you collapse the space between desire and fulfillment. You become a magnet for what you seek because you've shifted your vibration to match its frequency. Tonight, before sleep, say nothing. Words can only take you so far. They're tools of the conscious mind, but real transformation happens in the depths, the realm of feeling, knowing, and being. So tonight, before sleep, set aside the need to ask, affirm, or negotiate. Instead, sink into silence. Let go of language and rest in pure sensation. Just feel. Immerse yourself in the emotions associated with your desires. Feel the warmth of love, the freedom of abundance, the calm of peace. Don't intellectualize it, simply let these feelings wash over you, filling every corner of your awareness. Just know. Trust that what you desire is not only possible but inevitable. Know that it exists within you now, ready to emerge. Release any lingering doubt or resistance, replacing it with absolute certainty. Just be. Become the version of yourself who already lives in alignment with your dreams. Carry yourself as though nothing is missing. Act from this place of wholeness, even if only in your imagination. and then let go. Surrender the outcome. Release the need to control how, when, or where your desires will manifest. You've done your part, you've felt, known, and been. Now trust the universe to handle the details. Let sleep carry you deeper into the energetic signature of the life you've accepted as true. In this state of surrender, creation accelerates. Why? Because letting go removes resistance. When you cling to results, you create tension, a push-pull dynamic that slows the flow of manifestation. But when you relax into faith, you allow the process to unfold naturally, effortlessly. Let sleep carry you deeper into the version of life you've already accepted as true. Sleep is more than rest, it's a portal to expanded states of consciousness. As your body relaxes and your mind drifts, your subconscious continues working, weaving your intentions into the tapestry of your reality. By entering sleep steeped in the feelings of fulfillment, you amplify their power, embedding them deeply into your energetic blueprint. Imagine sinking into slumber wrapped in the warmth of gratitude, the steadiness of confidence, the sweetness of joy. These sensations don't dissipate when you wake, they ripple outward, shaping your thoughts, choices, and experiences. Over time, the life you've envisioned becomes indistinguishable from the one you live. It is done. When you assume completion, you activate creation. Declare internally, it is done. Not as a statement of hope, but as a declaration of fact. Feel the finality of it, the unwavering certainty that what you desire has already been set in motion. And here's the profound truth. Because it is done in you, it must now be done for you. The external world mirrors the internal. When you embody the emotions, beliefs, and posture of fulfillment, the universe responds by reflecting them back to you. What you've claimed within cannot help but manifest without. Share this truth. If this resonates with you, share it. Encourage others to release the noise, the effort, the endless asking, and instead embrace the power of stillness, feeling, and knowing. Remind them that they are not separate from what they seek. It is already within them, waiting to be claimed. Together, let's honor the sacred act of becoming, not through struggle, but through surrender. Because when you say nothing, feel everything, and let go, you unlock the door to infinite possibility. And in doing so, you step fully into the life you were always meant to lead.